Starfox 64 3D for the Nintendo 3DS. It's a secret to no one that this game is a remake of the original released in 1997 for the Nintendo 64. I didn't play the game at that time, as I had just recently graduated from college, and so at the time I was far busier looking for a job than playing video games. So that gives me a chance to see this game as a brand new one with fresh eyes. And what do I think about it? Well, it's fun. There's not a lot of guessing involved as to what to do next. You just choose your next level and start shooting. The controls are spot on. I love the little slider pad on the 3DS, and overall the controls have been mapped well from the original Nintendo 64 controller. Actually, I wasn't a big fan of that controller overall, and I'm guessing that this new 3DS scheme is superior to the original. There is a training mode at the beginning, and while normally training levels are a big turnoff for me, this one was actually fun to go through. One note about the controls, however, is that I always make sure to turn the gyro off. There's an option to turn on gyro controls, which would involve tilting around your 3DS to control the ship. But I can't imagine anyone actually using this control scheme anywhere, except maybe inside your own home when no one else is watching, because nothing makes you look more silly than tilting around your 3DS like an idiot. The original Starfox, back in the days of the Super Nintendo, was revolutionary for its 3D graphics. Each cartridge had custom chips inside it to render polygons that, while very primitive by today's standards, were simply awe-inspiring at the time. Likewise, Starfox 64 was a shining example of Nintendo being full into their Project Reality direction, with amazing polygonal graphics that put much of the competition to shame. While Starfox 64 3D has some nice graphical updates, it simply can't match the wow factor of its predecessors. In today's world, where nearly every action movie is rendered on high-power CGI hardware, and people have powerful processors and laser-crisp retina displays even on their cell phones, people aren't going to be blown away by the graphics here. I will say that the 3D effect is done very well. I feel the 3D actually adds to this game, unlike some other 3DS games I've played. However, while I'm sure some people bought Starfox for the SNES or Starfox 64 simply for the graphics alone, the same simply can't be said for this game. The sound is great. Not only are the sound effects perfectly fitting for a game like this, but the game has a great orchestral score that really gets you pumped to play the game. But perhaps the greatest aspects of the sound are the voices that are put into the game. I can't read any article on the internet about Starfox without at least one comment that says, "Do a barrel roll!" Unfortunately, I have the Japanese version of the game, so the dialogue isn't as meaningful for me. The original Starfox 64 game was released at a time when Nintendo was receiving a lot of flack for going with a cartridge-based system instead of using cheaper optical media with much larger storage capacity and also slower loading times, such as the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. As most cartridge-based games use MIDI-style soundtracks, there was a feeling that CDs were necessary to create real music scores with real instruments, as well as real spoken dialogue. With Starfox 64, Nintendo seems to have gone overboard to put those feelings to rest by giving us music, sound effects, and dialogue that are head and shoulders above the majority of games available for the PlayStation or the Saturn. On the whole, I like that Nintendo has taken the relatively simple concept of a rails shooter and really developed it into something that feels like an A title. If you're a fan of spaceship shooters, or if you're a fan of the original Starfox 64 game and you have a nagging nostalgia itch to scratch, then you owe it to yourself to check out Starfox 64 3D for the Nintendo 3DS. I'm the expanded gamer in Asia. Thanks for watching.
世話の焼ける野郎だ。